Alright, what's up guys? My name is Patrick. Today we are installing motor mounts on my Miata. So, these are Mazda Competition motor mounts. I got these used off the forums and I got 2 of them for 50 bucks. So, these are a pretty good deal. They're about 40% stiffer than stock, so it should help with shifting and overall just throttle response, but it's not the most insane thing in the world. I'm hoping that these still feel very similar to OEM and the car doesn't, shake around a bunch or anything like that. Hoping that. So yeah, let's go throw these in. Okay, so I started by taking off the under tray and jack the car up. You're going to want to support the engine just with a jack. I chose to do it right on the oil pan, right on the bottom of it. So we are currently under the car. I'm going to show you what the passenger mount looks like. So there's a little hole right there. There's a 14mm nut. You're going to loosen that. So now if you're towards the front of the engine bay, look back and you'll see right back here, right back there, you got 1 and 2 bolts. You're just going to loosen those. And now if we go to the side of the car, all you have to do is turn the wheel slightly so you can kind of get in here. And if you can see it, there's 1 bolt all the way back there. And you can take a very, very long extension and just loosen that up and take those all out and the mount should be free. And again, make sure that the engine bay, or the engine is jacked up. So also I just found another one. If you look back towards the oil pan, it's right there. That guy right there. So those are 4 nuts and bolts that you can take out and it should be able to break free. Alright, so all the bolts are out. I'm going to go ahead and try and finagle it out. There's no right way to do this, so just try to get it out somehow. Okay, so after jacking up the engine enough, I was able to get the entire thing out. It's a little bit of a hassle, but just jack the engine up only enough to where you can actually slip this bolt out, and that's really all you need. But yeah, so let's go replace that boy.
Outside the car, yeah. But yeah, easy.
So here is the stock one. It's actually in like great condition, like perfect. This car is pretty low miles, so it's not exactly going to be torn up that much. And here's the one that we are replacing it with. It's identical. As you take this off, you see that it has notches right there. You just line them up and you really cannot mess it up. Just go right in there, thread that boy back in, and throw the entire bracket back in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that bracket back in, and I'm actually just going to do the other side really quickly. It's the exact same concept for the other side. It might be a little bit more difficult just because there's a little bit more stuff on the driver's side, so might be a little bit more finagling, but yeah, it's going pretty smoothly. You really cannot mess up the assembly of this. They make it incredibly simple. So yeah, probably should be done in maybe 30 minutes.
So that was a fucking lie.
Okay, so it has been around 4 hours, I think. Passenger side, easy, not a trouble at all. It was out in like 30 minutes. Driver's side, on the other hand, when you have AC and power steering, it took a while. It was a shit show. So we ended up having to disconnect the actual mount. One sec. So we disconnected the mount from that big giant bracket, and that was able to give us enough room. But the issue was when we put it back in, we had to put everything in by itself, like individually. So we would have to thread this in while it's in the car, which is tough. That was bad. So as always, Will, if you're watching this, you saved the day again. Came to the rescue, so thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, so it's done. I'm gonna lower it and we can go for a drive, see if there's a big difference. I hope that there is, because that was a lot of work. Okay, so motor mounts are installed. These are the Mazda Competition mounts, and they're supposedly around 40% stiffer than stock. So immediately right off the bat, I actually do notice that there's a good amount more vibration. Not only, you know, like in your butt, like you feel it in the seat, but I can even feel a little bit more vibration like in the brake pedal, which is kind of an interesting sensation. Now, another thing that I also noticed almost immediately is that the clutch engagement feels better. It feels a little bit easier to grab and not lose, you know, it feels easier to grab and not jerk around. Actually, okay, that feels pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I think the throttle feels a little bit better. I think it has a little bit better response. Not a drastic amount by any means, but I think I do actually notice a little bit of a difference in the tip-in. So cruising at around like 22 RPM, 2200 RPM, there's a little bit of vibration. It's nothing too bad. As you go a little bit higher above like 2, it seems like the vibrations actually get a little bit better, which is good because typical highway speeds, I'm usually around like, I don't know, 3,500, somewhere around there. So I think it's not going to be an issue on the highway. Okay, it feels way better now. For all the rev matching and like just the tip-in, it feels way better. The car doesn't feel as like jerky. Like when I go into gear, now granted I'm not the best driver in the world, but when I go into gear, it feels smoother. It just feels overall smoother. Like all that feels really solid. Like that feels way better than what it was. Yeah, this changes a lot. So, would I recommend this? I don't know. It was a lot of work, a lot of effort, so I'm not 100% sure if I would. If you drive the car on track, you might want to get some more aggressive engine mounts. I mean, honestly, like these are great for what I use this car for, which is like kind of like a second daily. Sometimes I race it, sometimes I take it to work, but where other people, if they only use their car as a race car, I don't know, these might be a little bit not enough of an upgrade. But for my particular circumstance, I think this was a solid upgrade. For $50, which, I mean, not everyone's gonna get it for $50. I got these used, so keep that in mind. But for $50, this is a really good upgrade. So with that, thank you guys for watching. I know this wasn't the most in-depth install, but I'll link a couple different install videos or maybe guides online in the description, so if you want them, there they are. But yeah, see you guys.